My name is Lena Carter, and I'm 29 years old. I live a quiet but successful life, working from home in my cozy apartment. Most people wouldn't believe it, but I make $100,000 a month without ever stepping into an office. I never brag about it, though. I don't wear flashy designer clothes or drive a fancy car. I just like living life on my own terms. My sister, Sophia Carter, is the opposite of me. She's 31 years old, obsessed with money, luxury, and appearances. If something isn't expensive, she doesn't want it. She's always looked down on me, calling me boring and cheap because I don't spend my money the way she does. One day, I found out that Sophia and some of our cousins were planning a big vacation to the Bahamas. I had no idea about it until I overheard her talking to our cousin, Jessica, on the phone. Lena? Oh, she's not coming, Sophia laughed.
She's way too cheap for this trip.
She'd probably book a budget hotel while we're in a 5-star resort. I felt my face heat up.
Cheap?
She had no idea how much money I had. She just assumed that because I didn't flaunt it, I must not have much.
I didn't say anything to her that day.
Instead, I smiled and acted like I didn't care. But inside, I was already planning my next move. She thought I was cheap.
Fine.
I'd show her exactly what I could afford. That night, I sat in my apartment, sipping my tea and thinking about Sophia's words. I wasn't hurt, I was annoyed. She had always judged me for not throwing money around the way she did. It wasn't that I couldn't afford it. I just never felt the need to prove myself. But this time, maybe it was time to teach her a lesson. I opened my laptop and started planning my own vacation, but I wasn't just going to the Bahamas. If she was staying at a luxury resort, I was going beyond that. Private jet, oceanfront villa, personal chef, spa treatments, and VIP experiences, everything first class. Unlike her, I didn't need to split costs with friends. I could afford to do this alone. A part of me wanted to send her a message right then and there, just to see her reaction. But that would ruin the surprise. I wanted her to find out on her own. I wanted her to feel the shock when she saw that the sister she called cheap was flying higher than she ever could. The next morning, I went about my usual routine, keeping my plans to myself. When I checked my phone, I saw a new message in the family group chat. Can't wait for the Bahamas trip. Who's ready for luxuries? Sophia wrote. Jessica responded almost immediately. So excited. It's going to be amazing. I wasn't tagged. They hadn't even considered inviting me. I wasn't surprised, but I still felt the sting. Not because I wanted to go with them, but because Sophia truly believed I wasn't worth including. I smirked to myself. She had no idea what was coming. A few days later, they left for their trip, posting pictures at the airport with their designer luggage and matching sunglasses. Vacation mode on. Sophia captioned one of her photos. That same afternoon, I arrived at the private airport lounge. A flight attendant greeted me with a warm smile. Miss Carter, your jet is ready for takeoff. I walked onto the sleek private jet, sinking into the soft leather seat. A waiter handed me a glass of chilled champagne, and I took a slow sip, enjoying the moment. Then I pulled out my phone. I snapped a photo of the elegant jet interior, the runway outside, and the gold-rimmed glass in my hand. No fancy caption, no bragging, just a simple, casual post on my Instagram story. Within minutes, my phone started buzzing. The first message? Sophia. Wait, what? Where are you going? I smiled to myself. This was going to be fun. I let Sophia's message sit for a while, pretending I hadn't seen it. I could picture her reaction, her eyes widening, her jaw tightening as she stared at the screen, trying to process what she was seeing. She had spent so much time looking down on me, assuming I couldn't afford luxury. Now, she was scrambling for answers. As the jet took off, I leaned back in my seat, enjoying the smooth ride. A waiter refilled my champagne, and I turned my phone to airplane mode. Let her wait. When I landed in the Bahamas, a private car was waiting for me. The driver greeted me with a smile, loaded my luggage, and drove me straight to my oceanfront villa. It was even more beautiful than I had imagined. White marble floors, floor-to-ceiling windows with a breathtaking ocean view, and a private infinity pool stretching toward the horizon. A personal chef had already prepared fresh seafood and tropical fruit for my arrival. I kicked off my shoes, walked onto the balcony, and took a deep breath of the salty air. This was the kind of luxury Sophia bragged about, but I didn't need to brag. I simply lived it. After settling in, I turned my phone back on. The messages came in instantly. Sophia, Lena. Seriously, where are you? Sophia, did you just take a random jet pic for Instagram, or is this real? Jessica, OMG, did you fly private? Mom, sweetie, where are you? Your sister is saying you're on a trip? I smirked. She was panicking. Instead of replying, I posted a simple photo of my infinity pool overlooking the ocean with a coconut drink in my hand. No words. No location tag. Just a picture. Less than a minute later, Sophia called. I let it ring. She called again. I waited. Then, finally, I picked up. Hey, what's up? I said casually. Lena, where are you? Her voice was sharp, but there was something else in it, shock. Maybe even jealousy. Oh, just on a little getaway, I said, keeping my voice light. Needed a break. She was silent for a second. Then, you flew private?
Yeah.
I sipped my drink, letting her process it. Another pause. Then she let out a laugh, but it sounded forced.
Wow.
I mean, that's crazy. I just didn't think you were the type to spend like that. I smiled to myself. Well, I don't usually feel the need to impress anyone. She didn't respond right away. She was probably trying to figure out how I had pulled this off. Finally, she said, well, maybe we can meet up? We're at the Blue Sands Resort. You should come by. I almost laughed. Now that she knew I was living in luxury, suddenly she wanted to see me? I said, pretending to think about it. I don't know if I'll have time. I have a yacht day planned tomorrow and a private island trip after that. But maybe if I'm free. Her silence told me everything I needed to know. This was the moment she realized she wasn't the only one who could live in luxury. The silence on the other end of the call stretched a little too long. I could practically hear Sophia grinding her teeth. Finally, she let out a short, forced laugh. Oh wow, a yacht and a private island? That's unexpected. Yeah, I said, swirling the ice in my drink. Figured I'd treat myself. I could tell she was desperate for answers. I'd always been the quiet, sensible one. The one who didn't waste money on frivolous things. The one she never bothered to include in luxury plans because she thought I couldn't keep up. Now, she was realizing she had been wrong. So, she started again, trying to sound casual. Who are you on this trip with? I smiled, knowing exactly what she was thinking. If I had been invited by some rich friend, it would explain everything. If a boyfriend had taken me, it would make sense. But the idea that I had done this on my own? That was something she couldn't wrap her head around. Just me, I said. Wait, so you're paying for all of this yourself?
Yep.
I took a slow sip, enjoying the moment. Another pause. How? I shrugged, even though she couldn't see me. I work, she scoffed. Lena, come on.
You do some little online thing, right?
How could that possibly pay for a private jet and a luxury villa? I finally let out a small laugh. Sophia, do you have any idea how much I make? She didn't answer right away. I could picture her sitting there, blinking, suddenly realizing she had never actually asked. She had just assumed. After a moment, she cleared her throat. I mean, I figured you were doing okay, but... I leaned against the balcony railing, watching the sun dip lower over the horizon. I make around 100 grand a month. Silence. I waited. Then, finally, she let out a choked laugh. No, you don't. I do. That's not. She stopped, realizing I wasn't joking. You're serious? I smiled.
Yeah.
For the first time in my life, Sophia was speechless. I could almost feel her trying to process it. All these years, she had called me cheap, looked down on me, thought I wasn't worth including. And now, she was realizing I could outspend her without blinking. She let out another nervous laugh, but this time, her voice was different. Less mocking. More careful. Well, that's amazing, Lena.
Really?
She paused. I guess I just never knew you were doing that well. I let her sit in that realization. After a few seconds, she tried again. So, about meeting up? Maybe we could do dinner? I'd love to catch up. I almost laughed. A week ago, she hadn't even bothered to invite me. Now she wanted dinner? I glanced at my schedule, one I had made purely to treat myself. Sunset yacht cruise. Private chef experience. An exclusive event at a VIP beach club. I didn't need to see her. I didn't need her validation. But I wasn't done having fun yet. I let out a thoughtful hum. I'll think about it. But I'm really busy. I heard the frustration in her voice, even though she tried to hide it.
Oh, right.
Well, if you're free, let me know. I will. I didn't. I spent the next 2 days fully indulging in the luxury I had gifted myself. Every morning, I woke up to the soft sounds of waves crashing outside my villa. My personal chef prepared gourmet breakfasts with fresh fruit, eggs cooked to perfection, and steaming cups of rich coffee. The yacht day was a dream. As I lounged on the deck, soaking in the sun, I thought about how different this was from the kind of vacation Sophia always posted about. Hers were all about showing off, posing in designer outfits, making sure people knew exactly how much she spent. But I wasn't doing this to impress anyone. I was doing this for me. Still, I couldn't deny that a small part of me was enjoying the fact that she was losing her mind over it. She had sent a few more texts. Sophia, hey, did you decide about dinner? Sophia, we're going to this really exclusive rooftop restaurant tonight. You should come. Sophia. Lena? I ignored them. That night, instead of meeting her, I had dinner under the stars at my private villa with a 5-course meal prepared just for me. I wasn't going to drop everything just because she had suddenly decided I was worth her time. The next morning, however, I made a small decision. I posted a new Instagram story, a video this time. A slow pan of the sunrise over the ocean, followed by a glimpse of my private infinity pool. I didn't say a word in the video. I didn't need to. It took less than 5 minutes for Sophia to call. I let it ring twice before answering.
Hey.
Lena. She sounded out of breath, like she had been waiting by her phone. Are you still in the Bahamas? Yep, I said, stretching as I sat on my sun lounger. She hesitated.
Oh.
We leave tomorrow, so I was hoping we could at least get together before then. I almost felt bad for her. Almost. Instead of answering right away, I let the silence drag out. Then I said, it's funny. A week ago, you didn't even think I was worth inviting on this trip. She let out an awkward laugh. Come on, Lena, that wasn't. It was exactly what you said, I interrupted, my voice calm. I heard you on the phone. You called me cheap. You laughed about it. She was silent. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't even hurt. I just wanted her to sit with it. Finally, she sighed.
Okay.
I messed up. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't let her off the hook.
And
she exhaled sharply. And I shouldn't have left you out. That was the apology I had been waiting for. Not because I needed it, I didn't. But because she needed to say it. For the first time, Sophia had to face the fact that she had underestimated me. Thanks, I said simply. She hesitated, then tried again. So, dinner tonight? I smiled, shaking my head even though she couldn't see me. No, I've got plans. Oh, she said, and I could hear the disappointment in her voice. I let that sink in for a second. Then, before she could respond, I added, but maybe next time, if you invite me from the start. She got the message. This time, I was the one who hung up first. The rest of my trip was perfect. I spent my last day on a private island, sipping a tropical drink while my toes sank into the warm sand. No drama, no stress, just pure peace. Meanwhile, I knew Sophia was stewing. She had apologized, but I could tell she wasn't used to being the one chasing after someone. Normally, she was the one calling the shots, deciding who was included and who wasn't. But now, the power had shifted. That evening, as I watched the sunset from my villa, my phone buzzed again. Sophia, just wanted to say, safe travels tomorrow. Maybe we can talk when we're both back home. I smiled. She wasn't pushing this time. She had realized something. I didn't need her approval. The next morning, a sleek black car arrived to take me to the airport. As I stepped onto my private jet, I felt lighter. I had come to the Bahamas with no intention of proving anything, but in the end, I had made my point without even trying. A few hours later, as I was mid-flight, I checked Instagram. Sophia had posted a picture of her group at the airport, looking tired and frazzled. The caption read, "Ugh, flight delayed. Can't wait to be home." I chuckled to myself. Commercial flights, delays,
Crowds.
all things I had avoided completely. For the first time, I posted something direct. I took a picture of my empty private jet cabin, a warm cappuccino beside me, and added the caption, "No delays here, airplane, hot beverage." I didn't tag her. I didn't need to. The second I landed, I saw the message pop up. "Sophia, okay, I give up. We need to talk." I smirked. This was going to be interesting.